We have just set foot on this icy land. The locals have complained many times about the sudden outbreak of wild boars. This is why we decided to join in, to protect the community, as well as to control the increasingly dangerous wild boar population. This hunt was not like the previous ones. These were snowy mountains, where there were no easy paths. The cold was biting, and our hands became numb after just a few minutes of exposure to the cold air. But we were not allowed to falter. The goal was not just to find wild boars to kill, but to stop a danger that was spreading, affecting the lives of the locals here. The hunt started early in the morning, when the fog was still covering the area. The tracks of the wild boars were still fresh, so we decided to follow them. After a short distance, a roar was heard in the distance, followed by a rustling in the snow. We moved carefully, watching our every move. And then, the first wild boars appeared. They slowly approached, unaware that death was in sight. This time, not just one, but a whole herd. We immediately planned to surround them. The first shot went up, hitting one immediately. It let out a miserable cry and collapsed. Two more rushed forward to attack. We had to use all our strength to destroy them. In this cold, snowy land, fighting was not easy. The wild boars were strong and unpredictable, but after a fierce battle, we also took down more wild boars. However, this was only the beginning. The sound echoed from afar. Another group of pigs appeared, running through the bushes in the valley. We split up, surrounding them from many directions. The gunshot rang out again. One of the herd was hit. The remaining pigs began to scatter everywhere to distract them. The group quickly followed their footsteps. Two more shots. Two wild pigs collapsed in the snow. The snow was already stained red. From close range, we continued to kill two more pigs, fighting mercilessly.
Aferin sana. Aferin sana oğlum.
After a few hours of fighting, we decided to rest and recover our strength. But while we were resting, the sound from the bushes ahead immediately alerted the group. It was a wild boar. Without thinking much, it started running away. We immediately opened fire. It was not until the third shot that the wild boar was officially taken down. After regaining our strength, we crossed a hill. Along the way, we discovered many traces of the pigs plowing the ground. Here they are. On the hillside, black shadows moved one after another, their black fur standing out against the white snow. Raise the gun, then choose the perfect shooting angle. In a short moment, we were forced to make an immediate decision. But with our extensive experience, the first prey was taken down without any difficulty. Just a few minutes later, we continued to take down another wild boar when it tried to run across the trail. It seemed that today, luck was smiling on our team. Before we could enjoy the victory, we were faced with a large herd of wild boars. In the middle of the sparse forest, a herd of dozens of pigs with gray-black fur were moving in a row. We aimed at the largest one, in the closest and most favorable position. The first shot rang out but missed. Quickly adjusted. Immediately, the second shot hit the back of the belly, causing the pig to collapse on the spot. The others took the opportunity to escape, but it was too late. Their speed was finally defeated by our guns. The remaining leader. At this time, we had driven it to a nearby lake. All directions were blocked. This was the moment. Headshot. The target fell on the spot. The deeper we went into the snowy mountains, the more tense the situation became. Another group of wild boars appeared. This time they were foraging on the mountainside. Each wild boar was very agile, hard to defeat, but we could not stop. The battle lasted for almost an hour, but this time we were more aggressive. We killed them all and it was all over. Finally, after 48 hours of fighting, we stood on the top of the mountain, in the middle of the snowy wilderness. The wild boars were almost all killed, and we protected the villagers from the threat. Although we were tired, we were satisfied with the result.
In the fruit gardens of Morocco, wild boars are still lurking and waiting for the opportunity to destroy. A new crop season is about to begin. Farmers need to quickly drive wild boars out of the growing area. Determined to protect their crops, today farmers will begin a campaign to sweep away wild boars. Let's follow the intense battle that will take place today. Wild boars are increasing in number and have become a major threat to farmers' fields. They often invade orange groves, dig up and destroy the soil, and eat crops. The damage caused by wild boars not only reduces productivity, but also directly affects farmers' income, making their lives more difficult. The increase in wild boars puts great pressure on farmers, forcing them to find ways to protect their crops. One of the urgent solutions is to organize hunting or chase pigs away from the growing area. Our mission today was to search the orange groves to exterminate these uninvited guests. After a long search, we finally found a wild boar. It rushed out of the dense grass under the pressure of the hunting dogs. Immediately, a clean, decisive gunshot rang out. Everything happened so fast, the wild boar was brought down on the spot. The excitement was evident from the hunting dogs. We then continued our ambush in the dense orchard. The hunting dogs sniffed the scent of the wild boar and barked loudly. In just a moment, the wild boar was pressured and forced to rush out of its hiding place. As soon as it passed by, gunshots rang out regularly. But it was only when I faced it directly that I was able to shoot accurately and take it down. The other wild boars were also running away in panic, but we persisted in ambushing and took them down one by one. Everything went very smoothly. We did not let them escape. The wild boar hunt was thrilling and dramatic. The wild boars hid in the thick grass, forcing us to concentrate, looking for even the smallest traces. As soon as their silhouettes appeared, shots would immediately ring out. However, their incredible agility made aiming extremely difficult. After several missed shots, luck finally smiled on me. A wild boar was hit and fell in the middle of the wilderness. The others immediately disappeared into the thick grass, but we were not discouraged. With great determination, the group quickly followed the trail, not letting the prey escape our grasp. My dog barked loudly and enthusiastically, signaling that it had discovered the boar's hiding place. As expected, the boar suddenly rushed out of the grass, and immediately a sharp gunshot rang out. A perfect shot. The boar collapsed on the spot. The chase was not over yet. Following the dog's barking, we continued to move deeper into the dense bushes. Suddenly, another wild boar rushed across the trail at a terrifying speed, but it could not escape the decisive fatal shot. The process of hunting wild boars to protect the fields was not easy, but we still tried to complete the mission. While searching for wild boars, a wild boar suddenly jumped into the small river, intending to swim to the other side to escape. To avoid that, I fired several shots in succession. At this distance, the wild boar had absolutely no chance of escaping, so we got our next trophy. From my ambush position, I spotted a wild boar running past. It disappeared behind the bushes in a flash. But after a long search, I finally found the wild boar on the other side of the small stream. I took careful aim and shot the wild boar, letting out a piercing scream before it was completely killed. After that, I continued to chase other targets. The barking of dogs echoed from afar, making the atmosphere more tense and dramatic. Occasionally, the silhouettes of wild boars would appear, so we had to concentrate to be able to shoot accurately. With my shooting technique, I was able to take down quite a few targets, which was really not a bad result. Along the stream, we tried not to miss any targets. It was difficult to hit such fast-moving targets, but these efforts were not in vain, because as long as I focused, I was still able to take down the wild boar. Next to the orange orchards, wild boars appeared more frequently. We followed each target closely and waited for the most favorable moment to shoot. A wild boar rushed across the road, but was shot down by me with 2 shots. But the frequency of wild boars appearing was increasing. We also raised our vigilance, ready to shoot when the target appeared. As a result of our efforts, we destroyed many wild boars in the fruit orchards.